This is Mrs. Wainwright's math class, chapters 6, 7, and 8, Packet C, lesson 2. Change a mixed number to an improper fraction.
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Today's learning target: I can change a mixed number to an improper fraction.
I watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream one permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Where's the shame you've left us up to her next minute? Time may change me. You can't twist time.
Today's vocabulary is a review of the same vocabulary we went over yesterday. Improper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is larger than the denominator. It's a top-heavy fraction, like a team that would topple over in a chicken fight. Examples of improper fractions are 9/5 or 3/2. A mixed number is a number that has both a whole number and a fraction, like the example 5 and 1/2. And simplest form is a fraction that is fully reduced, simplified, or in lowest terms. An important note for today's lesson: for the most part, if you have an answer with a fraction, that fraction needs to be fully simplified to count as being a correct answer. And the other important note is an improper fraction, like an improper chicken fight team, is never a fully simplified fraction. Yet today we'll be turning mixed numbers into improper fractions. Why would we do this? Well, the rule says you cannot multiply or divide mixed numbers. Therefore, you need to turn mixed numbers into improper fractions before you multiply or divide. So that's the reason for this lesson, to set us up for multiplying and dividing fractions. Let's take a look at example number 1. It says change 2 1/8 to an improper fraction. Ooh, I have to change a mixed number to an improper fraction?
Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
How do we do this? First, we take the mixed number and rewrite it nice and large on our paper. Remember, your whole number needs to be the same size top to bottom as the fraction is from top to bottom. Next, we need to think about what it's asking us to do, and it's asking us to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. Well, I think about my math changes that I learned over the years. What's the first type of math that I learned when I was in school? When you were in school, probably back in preschool or kindergarten, what's the first type of math that you learned? It was addition. So right in front of the numerator, the top number of our fraction, we write a plus sign because the first operation we learned in school was addition. Then eventually, as you got older, probably around the time of third grade, you learned how to do a faster type of addition when you're adding the same number over and over again. What type of operation allows you to do a faster type of addition of adding the same number? That's multiplication. So by our fraction, we think about our math changes. We started learning addition, and when we got a bit older, by the time we got to third grade, we then learned the bigger kid math operation, which is multiplication. Okay, so we thought about our math changes. Now we're going to go back to our Changes song by David Bowie. Well, we want to do some changes, and changes starts with what letter? It starts with the letter C. So we do a change letter C. We start at the denominator, in this case it's the 8, and we're going to put a C all the way around our whole number to our numerator. We're going to end it pointing to the numerator with an arrow. So now we've done the first part of our setup for our changes. Again, numerator, first math thing that we learned how to do is add. Denominator, eventually when we got bigger, we changed that to multiplication. Then we're going to do our big C for changes, starts at the denominator, goes all the way around the whole number, and points to the numerator. Now we continue our setup. We're going to be changing this mixed number into an improper fraction, so we'll give ourselves an equal sign, which is important, and a fraction bar because I'm going to turn this whole thing into an improper fraction. Now that we're ready to do the changes, we follow the arrow. So I see that my change arrow starts right here at the denominator. In this case, it's 8. The operation that's next to that, if I follow the arrow, is times. The number that comes next is 2. What is 8 times 2? We write the answer right on the top left-hand side of the C for change. So 8 times 2 equals 16. Okay, then we take that number, which is the 16. The next operation we come to as we follow the C is plus, and the next number that we come to is 1. What is 16 plus 1? Well, 16 plus 1 is 17. So that becomes the new numerator of my improper fraction. What's the denominator? The exact same denominator that I started with. So in this case, it's 8. So 2 1/8 changes into the improper fraction of 17/8. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 1 right now. Let's take a look at example number 2. Carrie is about to complete a multiplication problem with a factor of 5 3/12. Turn the factor into an improper fraction for Carrie. Okay, I have a mixed number and I want to change it into an improper fraction. What do I need to do? I need to change this into an improper fraction, so I'm going to write my mixed number. And then I think, changes in math. What about the operations and how I learned them? Well, my changes in my math operations were first I learned how to add, and then I learned how to multiply. Now that I've done my math changes, I think about David Bowie's changes. I'm going to make my C for changes, put the arrow at the top. Now what do? I finish my setup. I'm changing this to an improper fraction, so I'll put an equal sign, which is very important, and I'll put my fraction bar, getting myself ready for the improper fraction. And now I simply follow the arrow. 12 times 5 equals 60, write it down. 60 plus that 3 equals 63, so that's my new numerator. My denominator stays the same. It was 12, so it stays at 12. So 5 3/12 changes to the improper fraction of 63/12. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 2 right now. Let's take a look at example number 3. It says change the mixed number into an improper fraction, and they give us the number which is 10 9/10. Oh, I have to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. That's changes. So what's the first thing that I need to do? Well, what math changes did I have in my life? First, I learned how to add, and then as I got bigger, I learned the faster way of addition, which is to multiplication. Now that I'm done with my math changes, I have to think about David Bowie. Okay, so changes starts with a C. I'll put my C, and I'll put the arrow at the top. Finish my setup, which is my equal sign and my fraction bar, to get myself ready for my improper fraction. And now I simply follow the arrow. So I say 10 times 10 equals 100. Write it down. 100 plus that 9 equals 109. My denominator stays the same. It was 10, and it stays at 10. So my improper fraction is 109/10. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 3 right now. So let's review. An improper fraction is never a fully simplified fraction, yet today we'll be turning mixed numbers into those improper fractions. Why would we do this? Well, you cannot multiply or divide mixed numbers. Therefore, you need to be able to turn a mixed number into an improper fraction before you can multiply or divide. How do you change a mixed number to an improper fraction? Well, first you write down the mixed number, and then you think about your math changes. First operation that you learned when you were little was addition. Write that on top by the numerator. Then as you got older, you learned the faster way to add, which is to multiply. Then we think of David Bowie's changes. David Bowie's changes. Change starts with the letter C, so we draw our C from the denominator all the way around the whole number to the numerator. We put the arrow up on top, and then we simply follow the arrow. So our arrow started at our denominator, which here is 8 times 2. We write that answer right on the top left-hand side. In this case, it's 16. We take that 16 plus 1, the numerator. 16 plus 1 in this case is 17, and that becomes the new numerator of our improper fraction. Our denominator stays the same, so it was 8 originally, and it stays 8 here. That's how we change a mixed number to an improper fraction. Hopefully by now you can confidently say, I can change a mixed number to an improper fraction. As always, we'll be practicing in school tomorrow. If you have any questions, please see a teacher. We will work with you and help you to understand it. Good luck with this lesson.